Welcome back. Now let's add a visual that provides sales information over time. We have moved the two visuals in the right part of the canvas. Now we click in the white space in the canvas to ensure that nothing is selected. We go to the sales table and we check the date. You notice that a date hierarchy is created if you have the auto date time turned on. If you don't have it, you must go to settings, file settings, options, and we go to the current file data load and we make sure that we have this selected. What this field does, it creates automatically a hidden date table for each field in the model that has a date or datetime data type. And this allows to create time intelligence reporting based on date columns. Now we select the revenue field. Now we change the newly created visual to a clustered column chart. We notice that in the x-axis section, a date hierarchy is used. And on the visual, we have arrows in the visual header, which are used to navigate through the hierarchy. We click it, and now we are on the quarter level, on the month level, and again on the day level. And if we want to go back, we drill up with this arrow, drill up again until we are on the top of the hierarchy. Now, we have already noticed that Van Arsdale has a large share of the market in Australia. Let's see how Van Arsdale has done over time in Australia. We select the visual revenue by country and manufacturer groups and remove the manufacturer from the legend. Here, we press X. We go to the tree map visual and select Van Arsdale, and now we hold the Control key and select Australia from the sum of revenue by country. This will multi-select and highlight both values. With both Van Arsdale and Australia selected, we can see a spike in the 2021 sales for Van Arsdale in Australia. This spike in sales is intriguing, so let's investigate further. We go to the sum of revenue by year visual and select the down arrow to enable the drill down capability. And now we select the 2021 bar. This drill downs the quarter level of 2021. We notice a big spike in the fourth quarter. Let's dig further. We go and select the double down arrow icon here. This drill down to the next level of the hierarchy, which is month. Now we select the up arrow icon to drill back up to the quarter level again. And again to go to the year level. Now select the split arrow icon here. This expands down to the next level of the hierarchy, which is the quarters for all the years now, not just 2021. Okay. Let's expand this to see all the years. What we notice is that the fourth quarter in every year has the biggest increase in all the quarters in the year. So nothing unusual, but in 2021 there is a larger sales spike in the fourth quarter than usual. Now let's expand down one more time to the month level. We select the split arrow again and we go to the month level for all the years. And we see the visual for every month, every year. Now that we have explored the data, let's add a slicer so we can filter by the manufacturers. Start by ensuring there is no filtered or highlighted values. To ensure that no values are currently selected in your report visuals, click in the blank space of the sum of revenue by country visual. This will clear all the selected values that are currently selected. Now we go to the white space in the Canva, and from the date pane, select the checkbox next to the manufacturer field in the manufacturer table. Okay, we click here. And now from the visualizations pane, select the slicer visual. Here is the slicer. We click it. And now we have the slicer with the manufacturers. We select Van Arsdale and notice that the visuals are filtered based on our selection. Also, we reselect Australia in the sum of revenue by country. Now with the slicer visual still selected, navigate to the format of the visual here. We go to the slicer settings and we change the style of the visual in a drop down. We click here in the drop down list and select again Van Arsdale. Now we just make sure that in the filters pane we have still selected the manufacturer, top competitors or Van Arsdale. By the way, here there is a box for filters on all pages in the filters pane. If you have more than one report page, this is how you sync a filter for the whole file if we have here multiple pages. Now let's use the manufacturer slicer to analyze one manufacturer at a time. First we deselect the highlighted country here in sum of revenue by country by clicking on the black canvas. Next we select the sum of revenue by manufacturer tree map visual and we change it to a card visual. We go to the visualizations pane here and click this, the card, and we see only the amount. Now we notice that all key dimensions are in tables with related attributes except for the date. For example, in the products attributes are in the product table. The manufacturer attributes are in the manufacturer table. Now let's create a date table. First, let's go to the table view of the report. And from the ribbon here, Table Tools, we click New Table. We notice that here in the table list, it's created a new table called Table. Now we enter a formula here. And then we hit Enter. The formula will be this: date equals calendar, date between the first day of 2014 and to the last day of 2022. We click Enter and we see that a new table called date is created. Here we are using two DAX functions, the calendar function, which accepts the start and end date, and the date function, which takes the year, month, and day fields. We create the dates between 2014 and 2022 because we have data in the tables in this period. We can also add more fields such as year, month, and week to this table by using additional DAX functions. Now, within the data pane to the right of the screen, select the date field in the date table. we notice that the date field is of the data type date time. Let's change it to the date type. Okay, so we have it here, date type, date time. So we click here and only select date. Next, we need to create a relationship between the newly created date table and the sales table. So we are here in the column tools and we go to manage relationships. We select the new button and the create relationship dialog box opens. We select the date and in the second drill down we select sales. Now we want to select the date fields, Control key pressed, we press date in the first table and also date in the second one. Then we select OK and we close it. We navigate back to the report view and we notice that the sum of the revenue by date chart looks different now. Let's fix it. So we select the visual and we go to the x-axis and we remove the date field. And now we go to the data pane and go to the new created date table and drag the new data column from the table. And now we go to the drill up until we reach the year level. Now we notice that the new date field behavior is like it was previously. Now, since there are now two date fields, it may be confusing to know which one to use because one is in the date table and one is in the sales table. So we will hide the one in the sales table. We go to the sales table and at the date field we press the three dots and say hide. And now it no longer appears here. Now using the same process as in the previous step, we hide the country, product ID, zip and zip country within the sales table as well. Okay, so country, hide. We should remain only with the revenue and units field. So product ID, hide, zip, hide, and zip country. Next we go to the geography table and hide the zip country. Then we go to the manufacturer table and hide the manufacturer ID field. And from the product table we hide the product ID and manufacturer ID. It is a best practice to hide fields that are not used in your report visuals. These fields are the basis of our relationships between each table, so we should not delete them. We just hide them. In the next lesson, we will go back to our data story with Australia, Van Arsdale and 2021, and we will check if the spike occurred in a specific region in Australia. See you in the next lecture.